We're gonna be talking about Gravity, which Kenny, you saw it before I did.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you start because I saw it last week. Uh, you know, my experience probably quite different from when you saw it.
Um. So I mean, I saw it 3D.
Oh wow, you
Um.
went 3D with it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's investment.
Yeah. I went 3D with it, and I'll tell you, man, it was visually. That movie is just like, I mean, CG in that movie, you have no problem with me. You're not, you will get no complaints from me on the CG in that movie. I loved it. I loved the movie. The whole time I'm thinking that like there's gonna be parts that they're on Earth and then parts that they're like in space. I had no idea that that's the direction that they were going in. I didn't know that people were gonna just start dying left and right and just like acting weird like that and just kind of like I just didn't. I mean, I just didn't expect it to be the way that it was, and it was refreshing. It was nice. It was a good movie. I'm not really a big George Clooney fan because I don't like that in every scene that he kind of goes. He does this. He moves his head a lot like that. I don't know why he does that, but since there's no gravity, he really couldn't do that.
Right.
You know.
He had his head propped up and in the
Exactly.
spacesuit.
He had a helmet on, so it's like I really liked him. As soon as you take that head shaking factor out, I like him. It's like Ocean's 11, he does a lot of this. I'm not feeling it. I don't like him. Gravity's got a helmet on. Can't even see how he's moving his head. Maybe he was doing it in there, but I just couldn't see,
Right.
So who knows? But I did like him a
Now
lot.
you
In
went.
fact,
Did you go opening day?
I went opening weekend.
Okay.
And
Was
I'll
there a lot
tell
of
you.
people in the movie theater?
Yeah, it was filled.
It was filled.
filled. Yeah, it was
Okay.
filled. I mean, that movie made like 53 million in the first week, and then on the second week, another like 43 million or something
Right.
ridiculous like that. So it ended up making a lot of money.
Right.
Um, but uh, but that film was really good, man. I think Sandra Bullock did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I
To
think George.
date. Sorry to cut you. To date, it's on as of the 25th of October, 199 million.
Oh my goodness,
It's
yeah.
it's even over that. It's over
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. So for first week 53, then second week probably another 50 something. I mean, it's just going. It's just, every
Right.
week people are going there.
Right.
But regardless, though, I mean, I thought that these guys both did an amazing job. I mean, just like George Clooney, like I want to go to space with George Clooney. He was so cool. He made a new level of cool. There's like cool, and then there's George Clooney. You know what I mean? And actually, let me say this. Let me say George Clooney in Gravity because I don't like him really in anything else. But there's cool, and then there's George Clooney Gravity cool. And
Right.
I'll tell you, if I had to go to space with someone, it would be George Clooney because he was calming me down. I'm like, oh my goodness, Sandra, you gotta get her. Somebody swim out there. And he's like, listen to my voice. Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, oh man, this guy's killing me right now. But it was.
It's funny you mentioned that. I thought it was a good balance because Sandra Bullock is the one losing her shit the whole movie,
Yeah.
and then it was a nice contrast to have the seasoned astronaut
Yeah.
there. Like, calm down, woman. We're gonna get out of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Hype on this movie has been through the roof, man.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna watch it. Even when you told me, you're like, wow, man, this movie is great and stuff like that, I was like, wow, I need to watch this movie. And from everyone I heard, everyone said, oh, it's a great movie. They had the staple riveting
Yeah.
tour de force and
Spine building.
yeah. Mind bending, spellbinding, whatever it is.
Spellbinding. There you
Yeah.
go. Sorry.
Yeah. So it had if you had your bingo card out, this movie had all the little buzzwords.
Ding. Ding.
Yeah, man. I was expecting for there to be a third layer of story.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just me. Alfonso Cuarón, which he directed the movie. He did Children of Men, which is one of the best,
Really great. Great movie.
post-apocalyptic movies on my list. So I'm like, wow, I was like, okay, Gravity, and everyone says it's good. So I was expecting somewhat of a third layer, and you sort of see a little bit of that. And then probably, let's just spoil it, okay? Because let's just say it, okay? So since we both saw it, that scene that she's in the capsule, and everyone thinks George Clooney had already like died, and he comes back in. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Dude, that's what makes the movie. That scene, I was just like, no way. And no flipping way.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, look, here's my dark mind, okay? And if they would have done this, you asked me, this guy's stock would have went up in my book. I thought, as soon as he opened that hatch, okay, that he was going to, in turn, kill her just because he was trying to get in.
Right.
That's what I thought, because they covered her face. We all know if you're out in the open in space, you're going to freeze. Okay?
Right.
And that's what I thought happened. And I was like, wow. I thought if they would have done that, that's what I would have done. If I was writing this movie, that's what I would have done. But then, you would have had to do that towards the end of the movie. But when it was just a hallucination, obviously, I was just like, oh, okay, But I was okay with it.
When he gets in and they're able to talk, he's like, dude, you didn't find the... Come on, man, what's up with you, Like,
that's
you
what
didn't see this?
I knew. That kind of like, hey, something's up. I was just waiting for it. When he was just nonchalantly, oh, I found some extra power in my back pocket. Or I found some extra air in my back astronaut pocket,
Dude,
and then
when
I was just like, wait a minute, something.
But then when I saw that it was a hallucination, I was actually like, first off, I had a few emotions, and one of the emotions was that I was saddened because I actually wanted him to make it.
Right.
And then I was also like, oh, and then I was like, wow, the logical factor in me came out, and I was like, wow, that's why she didn't die when the door was open. It really wasn't open.
Exactly. And that was my next. And seeing him just chilling, he must have thought that he was gonna die. So how would you just jump right back into the picture, and then go for the alcohol? I knew something was up there, and then the fact that she didn't die as well. But
so I mean, but it was cool because the way that he was acting in the movie in general
was the same across the board.
The same kind of way. So when he walked in, you would expect him to be that kind of like, super cool, like, oh man, what you thought I was dead, girl? Heck no, man. He's trying to take you out on a date. Like, we about to go back right now.
I did the full breaststroke back to the capsule.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
But it was nice that they made that bond, just them being up there, because she didn't know him. He doesn't know her.
Right.
She was just a doctor. She's not even an astronaut. You know what I mean? She's just a doctor. And there's some strong character development. There's a lot of things that are dropped there, like, like the conversations between the two. It tells you that they didn't know each other. The thing, things that she's there for.
Strong character development, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was a really well put together movie. Also, because you feel the entire time that you're watching the movie, you really think that there is going to be a second subset of storyline there, but there's only one story. They keep it real simple. Just think that there's something else.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. And then you know what? Me going into this 3 weeks after the release date, okay, the hype was just, I was like, oh my god, this chick is gonna like give birth to a unicorn or something in space. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'll tell you exactly what I thought. I thought that through the whole course of this movie, the ending was going to be some type of simulation. I thought it was going to be some type of simulation, or I thought it was going to be one huge hallucination.
Right.
That's what I went into it thinking. All right. And then I was just like waiting. That's why when George Clooney came right back into it, I was like, oh, that's it. This is it. The bamboo's going to snap right here. This is going to be like the turning point. And you don't really see that. Like you said, the movie's very simple.
Yep.
It's about her surviving and trying to make it back to Earth, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know? Now, another little, because this movie had me sparking as far as a storyline and what other things you can work into here. What I thought was interesting in the beginning when they said the Russians shot down one of their satellites and stuff like that. And then then a little bit, more time goes by, and then they said, oh, the satellite debris is taking out all the rest of the satellites. I'm like, wow, there's like a World War III going on Earth.
Right.
Take out the communications to the U.S., then you infiltrate. That's what I thought was going on. And then my mind was just going crazy. I was like, oh my God, she's going to land and it's going to be like World War III up in this chick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
that would have been actually really cool.
Oh, bro, I was like, wow, this is going to be straight. They could even do a part 2.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I did think that at some point there was going to be this other this other storyline that was going to come in. I thought that there was like going to be aliens or something. And that's what Mission to Mars kind of tricked me on that. Because Mission to Mars, in the name it says Mission to Mars. And they're just going there to rescue some guy that's there.
right.
So I'm thinking in my mind that they're going there to rescue this guy. And then
It's
they
a rescue
get there
mission
and
that's it.
Right. And then it's a whole different storyline of when they get there. Like there's the whole storyline of like what happened and why they have to go and before they go. Then there's that during on the way there, and then there's that once they're there, they find the guy, everything's done, they found him, now we're gonna get back.
Right.
It's like, no, we're not gonna get back. There's aliens here. There's like a whole nother storyline in there. Right. And that's what I thought that they were gonna do in this film.
The reason the character development is so good in this movie is because there's really no other factors except for the fact of space and surviving.
Right. There's only two characters.
Right.
Yeah.
There's only two characters. So all that dialogue is just building and building and building and building on top of that character. So it was cool, man. I liked it. I kind of hate myself for overthinking the plot. I was expecting something else. And then I will say I walked out of the movie theater like somewhat upset. And I was just like, oh, I was like, man, they missed an opportunity here. They could have like done so much other stuff. But then now when I really reflect on it, it's gravity. Good. Oh yeah, with the George Clooney, I'll address the George Clooney. Yeah, I'm not really too big of a George Clooney fan, but like I said, it was cool to have someone who's cool, calm, and collected during like a disaster. It's always
this makes two George Clooney movies that I like now, and the other one is the Peacemaker, and I don't even know why I like that movie because it's really not all that.
Right.
But
my top one,
I think it's because I like Nicole
George
Kidman.
Clooney one which he's done. He's done kind of a wide variety of movies, man. But From Dusk Till Dawn is.
I like that movie too. He doesn't really shake his head too much in that one.
No, yeah, it doesn't really. No, not too much head shaking, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
The head shaking thing, right?
You know what? In Batman and Robin was the one.
Oh my gosh, it's uncontrollable. He looks like a freaking bobblehead in that.
Even when he does it in the bat suit, it was kind of weird.
Dude, it's like, yo, control your head, grab your head.
You would think that cowl will kind of like stabilize him.
Yeah,
and
he needs that joint from that one scary movie that in the basement they have all these weird monsters and he's got that one metal.
Yeah, with the stabilizers like going into the shoulders and stuff. Yeah. You kind of stabilize him like the Sasquatch and Bigfoot.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, man. So I think we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna invite you guys. We are on Google Plus now, so it's under Texidio Productions on the Google Plus page, and then with Twitter.
You can follow us on Twitter too, at Kenny Diaz and at Johann Diaz.
Exactly. And then we're gonna kind of merge. I had a Texidio Twitter account that I need to kind of reincorporate into this whole thing since we went dark for a while. Yeah. Other than that, just check us out. We're still trying to get this out on a weekly basis, but just keep it locked on the Google Plus page. I want to say for now. Until you see,
we're working on it. We're young yet in the podcasting world, so we hope that you guys show us some love.
Right.
And, you know, we will work on getting the show better and better every single time.
Awesome. We thank you guys for watching. Take it easy. All right.